December 7th, 2022, Pearl Harbor Day. Wow. Big day in American history. Prayers for the people who lost their lives that day and their families. So let's talk about shopping orders, okay? I've been wanting to make a shopping order video. I've got some new tips. Number one, a big tip. How do you find shopping orders? Well, you want to determine what stores in your area just have awful curbside. Just tremendously terrible, right? And there are two stores here in St. Louis, one in the South Zone and one in the West Zone, right? And then there are two backup stores, one in the South Zone, one in the West Zone, that seems to always have shopping orders, right? And then there are two more backup stores on top of that. Let's talk about how I know these stores are consistently going to have shopping orders. Their curbside is just awful. Just awful. Like, let's talk about the one store here in St. Louis. It's the Telegraph store. It's closer to the city. But anytime you go to their curbside, it's always full. It doesn't matter what time of day or whatever. I've only picked up there a couple times because I don't go places where the curbside is just completely awful. But the times I have picked up there have been a disaster. And so I know that store tends to have shopping orders all during the day, even into the night. So I've always got my head on that store as I'm going up towards that area. And then there's another store in the West Zone. I talk about it all the time. It's the zone that I used to work in when I worked for Doordash. It's in the West Zone here in St. Louis. And it's the Chesterfield store. How do I know that store always has shopping orders, especially in the afternoon? Is because they can't even find people to work. I have pulled up there to get a curbside order before, and people have come out and said to me, gas for $2.56, that's nice. And people have said to me, hey, I'm the only person here, stuff like that. And then I've waited there a bunch of times. I've dealt with them. I used to even argue with them when I worked for Doordash because of how terrible they are. So they consistently have shopping orders there. Okay, then there's two stores in the city. A lot of people don't like to go down to the city. They have all their own issues. So they have consistent shopping orders down there too. But you only can work down there during the day. So a good you can't work in St. Louis City at night. So a good strategy in this area, and I'm sure in your area, in your zones, you gotta have similar stuff going on. I go in the morning a lot of times. First time I check out my hometown, see if they have anything going on. Then I'm headed straight for that first store that I think might have shopping orders. I'd rather do shopping orders because I control the whole process, blah, blah, blah. And then I might work it. What I would like to do is do a couple shopping orders there on the Telegraph store and then get pushed to the city a little bit early enough that I can work in the city during daylight. And they have, not only do they have shopping orders, they have good paying shopping orders down there. And then after the afternoon, I want to migrate my way towards that other store, which is the Chesterfield store, and get shopping orders there. Now, a lot of times, I made a really big mistake last Saturday. The shopping orders had migrated across the river to a store that's 10 minutes away. I should have went over there, but I figured there might be some south, and there actually were, but I was already done. Are you just done sometimes? So, okay, so you've gotten a shopping order. Okay, you've looked at the money. The money's okay for the miles, the whole 9 yards. We'll talk about that. But let's say it's $25. It's 17 items. You're gonna take it. Just take it. Okay. Then see where it's going and all that. You've got a minute or two to get rid of that. Say it's an app issue. Blah blah blah. So what you want to do is take the order that you've agreed that will fit your miles to money, right? Which, most shopping orders beat that, right? Some of them are a little iffy. Don't do anything that's not in the teens. Now, I did a delivery the other day. Walmart was there. The hotel was over there, like across a road. It was paid $15. It literally took me 6 minutes. If you look at the app, and I just did a transparency video the other day. It took me from like $3.49 to $3.55 to go across the street. I'm going to do a 6-minute delivery for $15. I'm going to do that all in. It probably took me 20 minutes to do. Yep. I'm going to do that. Okay. Then right after that, the next delivery I did was $39.12. Okay. But you've determined, hey, it's $25 to 17 items. Yeah, I'm going to do that. The first thing you're going to do is see where it goes, right? You're going to open that up, and you're going to see where it goes. Hey, if it's going to a third floor apartment, if it's apartment 305 or 1305 or whatever, 3305, and it's 17 items, you better open those items up quick. You only got about a minute or so. Open those items up quick and see what they are. The main thing is, hey, I'm not saying I do third floor apartments all the time, but I don't want to do 2 trips. I don't want to carry cases of water up to the 3rd floor. Not that I haven't done it, but mostly on accident. But that's what I'm looking for, right? Now, the other thing you can look at is how big the order is. It's going to tell you if it's small, medium, or large. Just because it's large doesn't mean you don't want to do it, or extra large. If it's going to a house, who really cares? That kind of deal. And even if it has cases of water, who cares? The only time I really care about cases of water, and lately, I don't know what it is, people are ordering a bunch of cases of water, is if it's going to an apartment, right? Even if it's on the 1st floor, that's still a little more extra work. Not saying I won't do it, I'm just saying I'm mindful of it, right? So you've looked at the items, okay. I'm gonna stay on it. Where do you park, right? You want to park by the cards, because you're gonna bring the card out. You got to put the card away anyway. So you could go. You got a cart, right? So you could go a few more parking spaces down, but you want to park by the cards, right? Right now during the holidays, I would say I personally would rather park by the pharmacy, right? Some people park in the handicap spots and pharmacy reserve spot. I don't do none of that. No. I'll go a few more steps as long as it's by where you can drop off the cart. That's that much faster, right? Okay, so then you go in, right? It's going to tell you the aisle number. It's going to tell you the section. It's going to tell you the price, right? It's even gotten more detailed. A lot of times it's going to show you the color of the item. That's been a big thing for me lately. Because so many things are just a little bit different. Low sodium, no sodium, stuff like that. You know what I mean? So close. Light pulp, no pulp, stuff like that. They all got a different color though. Just a little bit different, and I've been using that a lot lately. If it's GR, that's usually the aisle that's between where the groceries are and what's ever on the other side of the groceries, right? Going down. Like if you get a A6100, that's the out-facing stuff as you're walking down the aisle. On this side, right? If it's 200, it's way on the other side, like over there by where a lot of times the meat is and the lunch meat and the stuff like that. Now, if it's 300 or 400, that means it's in the middle, but on the ends, right? Let's say it's section 56, right? There's that 56 sections in an aisle, right? That's also in the middle somewhere, right? You know, and well, I'm on a big diet. We'll talk about that sometime. But I just do it as it's showed. Sometimes, since I'm parking by the pharmacy right now, because a lot of times, since it's the holidays, all the sections of all the parking spaces are filled up by the groceries. I might wait for the pharmacy stuff, depending on the store, last, right? But most of the time, I'm just gonna do it like it says. It's not that much more walking, and God knows I need all the walking, all the steps I can get. I've never timed out. I shouldn't say that because I have. You know, the app, when they used to only give you so much time, right? They changed that, which was a good thing because it was always broke anyway. The timer was always broke. You know, 1 second you'd have 8 minutes. You turn your head, you'd have 4. You know, stuff like that. So it didn't work anyway, so they got rid of it. That's a good thing. One thing for sure, though, you only got 1 hour for the cold stuff. So be careful about going out and ordering all that, because all the stuff is prioritized by how long it can stay in the cart. So a lot of that stuff, why you go like this and this and this and this, is because mostly the cold stuff has to go in last, then the frozen stuff, and then the dairy stuff. It's just that simple. And some of the produce is at different times in the cart. So just be careful with all that. I don't know. If you're doing 200 item deliveries, that seems crazy to me. I see people do that. Me personally, I'm not going to do anything I don't think is going to fit in the cart. Hey, and if you're going to do 50-something items, you better pay $40. Let's talk about that a little bit. Like the $15 delivery I did the other day was 4 or 5 items, something like that. Never in a million years would I do 10 items for less than $19 or gotta be real close to $20. Then you talk about 15 items, that's gotta be $20, right? Like I turned down a delivery the other day that was $29, not too bad, but it was 27 just picks, and it was during a busy time, and that matters. If it's booming, you could get $40 items that are 20 picks, right on. And that's what you're trying to find. A lot of people talk about, my car gets 30 miles to the gallon. So I make $300 every day, or $30 an hour. If I work full time, I make $300 a day, right? So I'm not even using a tank of gas. Sometimes not even a half a tank of gas, because I know where to go, and that's why I started the video out with that. You gotta move. You gotta move. If you can't find something, don't spend 20 minutes waiting looking for it. Don't do that. Move on. Now sometimes not a great percentage of the time, but sometimes I will say when they didn't have it, and then I'll be walking and I'll see it. That does happen. And if it does happen, you can go back in there. You just hit find items on the top, you hit find item, and then it'll tell you what you've completed and what you've already done, what's left and what's completed. You go to the completed section, you can edit it and turn it on, right? A lot of people don't do suggestions. Be careful with those, because a lot of times people don't like what you picked. It's got to be real close to what you're getting, and then it'll drive you crazy that people won't do substitutions when something is so close and it's right next to it. You know what I mean? But there's nothing you can do about it. There's been times I wanted to take pictures of the shelves and stuff like that, but I'm not wasting my time doing all that. My rating's 4.8 right now. So I must be doing something right. I have 100% on time rating. I have a 4% drop rate. I shouldn't even have that. And then my acceptance rate right now sucks. It's 18%. But these shopping deliveries is what I love to do because I control the process. Plus, it's only one delivery, and sometimes you can get smaller ones back to back. Like I would suggest for anybody to watch my transparency video where I did some $19 shopping orders, followed by maybe even a $15 one. Sometimes it's quicker to do 2 for $34 than it is 1 for $20. Depends, like the one that was across the street and all that. But you can look at every single delivery I did, when I did them, the whole 9 yards. I just open it up, I hope that was helpful. Let's talk about the bagging and all that. Hey, you don't have to flag anybody down. If they give you a card check, you still don't have to flag anybody down. They give you about a minute or two for somebody to show up. If they show up, great. If they don't show up, it's going to tell you to proceed. It times out. So I'm not like, hey, look at me. No, I don't want to do that. Hey, some days I get a card check on every single delivery. That's wild. But hey, I don't care. This is another thing you might be tempted to do. Don't do it. Where something just doesn't seem right, that something didn't scan right. When that happens, don't just throw something in the cart for the customer. Don't do that, because if you do get a card checked and they do catch you doing that, it's understandable. They don't care. They're not going to care. Whatever you tell them, they're not going to care. You say, oh, that was an accident. Okay, but then you're going to get a card checked over and over and over. So don't do that. Don't steal. Don't steal. You just make it worse on yourself and everybody else. Because the shopping orders, some people will never do them, but those who like them really like them, right? Some of us just know. Some of us just can't sit for 20 minutes on every delivery. It's just not in us. It's just not in us. You know what I mean? We just can't. We just can't do it. So no matter how much we might think it's even a better delivery or something, we still can't do it. It just drives us too crazy. We have to. People who like shopping orders are the kind of people who like moving, and then like making money. I've done up to 15 or 16 in a day. And here recently, I've been doing almost exclusively shopping orders, and I make mistakes sometimes about where I think they might be, where they are, and all that. I mentioned that Saturday. That I should have went to St. Peter's, and then by the time I got all the way south, I was kind of too far away from the Telegraph store. But actually, they did have two or three shopping orders. So I kind of wish I would have done that. Of course, when you're shopping, you're scanning in everything. I mean, it's really easy. I mean, I really like them, as you know. And you can hunt them down, at least in my area. And I would assume most of the areas are very similar. Unless you're out in the rural area, then it's just rolling